Hi, my name is Roy. I'm a magic addict.
Hi, Roy.
Hello, friends, and it's time for us to continue our look at Frozen Throne by looking at the human campaign. Okay, it's called Curse of the Blood Elves. So, who are the Blood Elves? Well, the Blood Elves are the elves from Silvermoon that survived Arthas' destruction of Silvermoon. They chose the edgiest name possible to represent this fact, apparently. So, yeah, there's a little bit of backstory for you. I really feel like this was definitely given a lot less attention than the other campaigns, and you'll see why by the end here. We pick up with Kael'thas and the rest of his friends after helping Maiev in the Night Elf campaign.
You're late, Kael'thas. Were you picking up extra work at the strip club, then? Because all of you Blood Elves look like women.
No, actually, we were helping out some fellow elves from across the ocean. They would make marvelous allies if
We don't need any more help from your elven brethren. There are enough knife ears in the army as it is. Now, I want you to go off and do some make work by helping out fixing these watchtowers so we can spy on the undead.
That seems like kind of a waste of our talent.
Well, of course it is. I'm flamingly racist, don't you know? Now, get to work, you filthy pixies. Men, move out!
One of these days, Garithos, a fireball's gonna go right where the sun don't shine. So we start off exploring the ruins of Dalaran, looking for more of those supply caches that we found previously in the game.
Smokey Bear says only you can prevent forest fires.
Smokey Bear is an idiot. It's also pretty clear that the Blood Elves have a very different view of nature compared to Night Elves. But as we continue exploring... Have I mentioned I really hate the undead? Oh no, they've burned the docks to the ground. Now how are we supposed to get to the middle of the lake? Oh no, Kael'thas. It looks like you're in need of some assistance. Perhaps we can help you out. I don't know, that seems really suspicious. Well then, I guess we'll just have to find somebody else that would like these lovely boats that we salvaged. You know, if I were more suspicious, I would look this gift horse in the mouth. But you're welcome. Have fun. We will meet again soon. Afterwards, we make it to the middle of the island, and we pull magic buildings out of our pocket that assemble themselves. Yeah, this is kind of awesome, but also really, really silly in the long run. Come, brothers, let us destroy this undead base that just happens to be on the same island as us. For Silvermoon!
Kael'thas, you've successfully completed your mission, but I hear you had to ally yourselves with filthy Naga to do it.
Yes, we were naturally suspicious as well, Lord Garithos, but they proved to be worthy allies that didn't...
I don't want to hear it! If it was up to me, I'd exterminate all of you non-human races on sight if we could. Now, go back to fighting our war for us.
Lord Kael'thas, are you just going to take that? If I could, I'd set him on fire right now, boys.
Kael'thas, I've come to inform you of things happening in the front lines.
I'm all ears, do tell.
Well, the watchtowers you fixed have revealed that there's a large group of undead planning to attack you. And so we're going to be taking all of the useful people out of here, like the dwarves and humans. Have fun being slaughtered to a man. Or elf, as it were. So long.
So I'm just supposed to slaughter the undead with sticks and harsh language?
That sounds like more of a you problem than a me problem. Later. That's really odd. Who left this fireball over here?
That was very cathartic. I'll have to do that more often.
So I do want to talk about some of the technical aspects of this particular level. First of all, I really enjoy any of the Warcraft levels where you get put on the back foot by an overwhelming army just coming in and smashing you, and you have to start over from scratch. Now, some people might say it's lazy to reuse the same map twice, but I think it helps give a nice sense of continuity, and it's also a great way to force you to do the same thing all over again. Rather than fighting your way to the lake, you now have to fight your way out from the lake. But having smashed all of our defenses, it looks pretty grim for Kael and his allies. Until...
Hello again, Kael'thas. We're here to lend you our assistance once again. I would gladly take you up on that offer, lady, but my commander... Your commander, who's flamingly racist and left you here alone to die. Face it, Kael, we're your real allies. Let us save you this once. Normally I wouldn't agree, but sure. Let's die together.
So at this point, you gain control of a second hero in the form of Lady Vosh, as well as a few of her units. And something that's kind of cool about most of the Naga units is the fact that they're able to not only move through the water tiles on the map, but also able to dive beneath the surface and avoid taking damage. It's really disappointing the Naga were only treated as a secondary supplemental faction instead of a real true 5th faction that you could play throughout the campaign. But with a combination of Cthulhu Abomination magic and Blood Elf magic, we are able to win the day. We also learn part of the reason that Lady Vosh is willing to work with Kael'thas and the Blood Elves is they see them as useful allies, as well as understanding their innate hunger for arcane magic, which the Blood Elves are no longer able to satiate because the Sunwell, their source of arcane energy, has been destroyed by Arthas, making Kael'thas odd. They offer, in return for Kael'thas' assistance, to help teach him how to cope with this addiction to arcane magic, as well as to help them find Illidan since they know where he is but not how to find him. Unfortunately, it's about now that Garithos shows up to figure out why Kael'thas hasn't died properly like he was supposed to. Lady Vosh and her forces make a hasty retreat, but Kael'thas is nevertheless still unable to sufficiently assuage Garithos' suspicions. And so all of the Blood Elves are arrested and are locked up with the understanding that they will be executed soon. Fortunately for Kael, Lady Vosh is not through with them yet, so comes to rescue him, and offers to help the rest of the Blood Elves and him use an extra-dimensional tear left over from the portal used to summon in Kil'jaeden and the Burning Legion back in Reign of Chaos. So the trek through the Dalaran ruins is kind of interesting. You have to pick up your fellow Blood Elf allies that are being held hostage, as well as some side quests involving slaying a bunch of wizards' ghosts so you can obtain magical items, as well as a secret room that you can discover. But I'm sure that probably doesn't factor into the story at all. While exploring the dungeon, it becomes apparent that Garentor were not above some really, disturbing experimentation. Maybe it's a good thing they're not around anymore. And then we fight our way past the guard of the dungeons and escape. Or at least we would if I hadn't found that secret room and unlocked the secret level. Yeah, Blizzard actually used to include cool secrets back in the day for free? Madness, I tell you! Madness!
Well, Vosh, we found the secret portal, but it's going to take us a while to get all of my people through it. And Garithos intends to try and stop you, doesn't he?
What? The knife ears are trying to escape? I won't let them. All right, men, you know your duty. Grab your suicide vests and try and blow up the portal so they're stuck here, and then we can slaughter them properly. Yes, I am the good guy. Why do you ask?
Lord Kael'thas, we could build towers to defend the portal. Sort of a tower defense, if you take my meaning.
So yeah, I just want to make it clear that Blizzard included a tower defense level for the sole purpose of having a tower defense level in Warcraft for free. Like, that's kind of awesome. And it is a nice original take on it, since your heroes can help defend and shore up your defenses anywhere that it's weak, as well as the various waves that are being sent against you containing various units that are vulnerable to certain elemental attacks and not vulnerable to certain elemental attacks, as well as having special racial abilities and a general buff to their HP. Until they send the ultimate threat to the Warcraft universe, the Hong Kong Riot Police. Though I guess it wouldn't be the first time that Blizzard's worked with the Chinese government. Zing! So, once you fend off the final wave, you're given this little title card thing as a reward, and Lady Vosh and Kael successfully escape. To where? Well, Outworld. So bear with me, we have to summarize a lot real quick. Outworld is the original home of the orcs in Warcraft. They're not originally from the world of Azeroth like most of the other races, they come from this place. However, after the Third War with humanity went really, really badly, they got chased all the way back here. In an attempt to escape and find other worlds to try and conquer, they ended up creating a bunch of extra-dimensional portals which ended up tearing the world apart, leaving it behind in this state. And it's now sort of a haven for demons and outcasts. So a pretty decent place for Illidan to come and hang out and start a new life. However, you remember how Maiev followed Illidan through the portal? Well, her and her Night Elf brethren that are now on the world of Outland have proceeded to capture Illidan and are planning on executing him or imprisoning him. It depends on how insane Maiev is feeling today. So yeah, we have to go rescue him. And if you're wondering where the panda dude came from, he's a special prize if you can make it through the secret level without losing.
Hello, Kael'thas. It's good you showed up. We were looking for some leafy greens with which we could serve our wonderful friend Illidan with. So I guess kale's on the menu. Murder and vengeance will be mine.
But after a prolonged game of tug-of-war, we do eventually retrieve Illidan. Vosh, thank you for rescuing me. Maiev was planning on doing all sorts of unspeakable things to me. Some of them involving whips and chains. It was not me alone, Lord Illidan. Prince Kael'thas of the Blood Elves wants to apologize. Please, Lord Illidan, help me and my people. Alright, fine. I guess that's like an apology. I guess I should explain a little bit better why I was doing what I was doing previously. After I turned into this thing, I was contacted by Kil'jaeden, Archimonde's brother.
Hi, Illidan. You know, I should be angry at you for defeating us, but I know it was really the Lich King who gave you the idea. So I want you to destroy his citadel in Ice Crown Glacier. And for that I'll forgive you and won't just squash you like an insect.
Whatever it takes for you not to squish me.
Great! Just know if you fail me, I will see to it that you are destroyed utterly and completely. I do not tolerate failure well.
So yeah, now I'm on the run, and I guess you all are too. Do you want to stay with me and make a go of it, or are you going to abandon me? We Naga have spent the last 10,000 years sleeping under the ocean. Sure. Great. We'll have to close all the portals to this extra-dimensional pocket space so they can't find us. And then slay the big demon who's in charge of this realm so I can become king. So guys, I'm gonna have to level with you. This is the lamest level in the whole game. You have to close 3 interdimensional portals while fending off waves of demons. So a glorified horde mode. Yay! 3 times! Even better! One notable highlight of this level is it's the first time we encounter the Draenei in Warcraft. They're here fending off the demon-blooded orcs that still remain in Outland. So we end up lending them a hand, and they swear to be our loyal allies for all of 1 level. Yeah, this is kinda lame. Though, full props to the creative design team for having the Draenei live in houses made out of mushrooms, since that is really the only building material around, giant mushrooms. So it's time for us to go deal with the big boss of Outland, Magtheridon, the pit lord who rules over this place with an iron fist. You're telling me there are idiots who dare oppose me? I will crush them beneath my mighty hooves! Kael'thas, I'll need all the help that your Blood Elves can provide. I hope they're up to the challenge. Don't worry, Master. They will gladly give their lives in your service. Or in my service, since I am their king. This land is hard. I can see why you're proud of them. Their willingness to march blindly to their deaths is really quite commendable.
Hi, we're here to provide the most monstrous race the Alliance will ever see. I guess we'll just go smash these crystals powering their defenses for you. Wow, we're gonna need a massive redesign before they launch World of Warcraft with us.
Wow, that was really easy. Like we didn't need to sacrifice thousands of Blood Elves. Anyway, onward to victory! So the assault on the Black Citadel's kind of interesting. You have the Naga and Illidan working together from 2 different points to try and open the gates, or ultimately rushing your way in and slaying Magtheridon, crowning yourself King of Outland. Ha! You think yourself pretty strong, don't you? But I don't break that easily. Oh, good. Because I was going to hand you over to my friend Maiev. Maiev, why don't you play with him?
Blood, murder, and terror! Ooh, I wonder what this one does.
Alright, you primitive screwheads, listen up.
These are my warglades, and you now work for me. Because it's good to be the king. Vosh, what's that ominous cloud of evil? That's what we call trouble.
Hi, Illidan. So, you thought you could hide from me here? Oh, there are dimensions of flatness you have only begun to contemplate.
Kill Jaden, buddy! This isn't what it looks like. I came here to bolster my forces before launching a frontal assault on Ice Crown.
Oh, really? Well, good initiative there, buddy. Yeah, you better get to crushing the Lich King, or else I'll crush you. Literally and figuratively. Bye-bye!
Well, that could have definitely gone better. Will you follow me to the frozen land of Northrend to slay the Lich King? Desert or frozen icy tundra? Sure, why not? The Blood Elves will follow you anywhere you lead. We will give our lives for you, Lord Illidan.
Oi! He does not in fact speak for us! We'd rather not die, thanks!
And with that, we close out the Curse of the Blood Elf campaign. So what do I have to say about it? Let's start with the good and the bad. Good stuff. I really like the secret level with the tower defense game. It's a lot of fun, and I can't tell you how many times I've replayed it trying to get a 100% score. The in the middle of the lake level is kind of fun to replay for the novelty, but mechanically it's only so-so. The tug-of-war section in Outland is a lot of fun and a refreshing change of pace. And I gotta say, the Outland maps are gorgeous! I can't wait to see the Warcraft 3 reforged versions of them with enhanced graphics. But we need to head on to the bad stuff. This is definitely the two towers of the campaigns for the game. All it really does is set stuff up for the Undead campaign following up on the Night Elf campaign. Motivations and character development abound, but actual story, not a lot really happens, unfortunately. And certainly nothing that doesn't get undone by the start of the Undead campaign, really. Menaroth lacks any development, so sort of comes out of nowhere, which doesn't make him a very compelling villain. And face it, the last two levels are really just not very entertaining and just there to kind of pad out the game's playtime. Featuring huge maps without much really in the way of creative design. All in all, it's a serviceable campaign, but I can't say it's my favorite. I can, however, say the Undead campaign is off the chain, and we will be looking at that soon. I hope to see you all for the Rise of the Lich King. See you next time.
All I see is blackness. Oh, my hood's down.